Okay, let's do this real quick. Based on what you just saw there, this is not a linear drill, is it? With all honesty, I'm gonna have to review the video. This is uncut, guys. This is uncut. Based on what you just saw there, what makes you think that you're not going to get muzzled? Cool, actually made the time. I'll cover this in a second. What makes you think that you're not gonna get muzzled? Let's make believe that this camera is you. This camera, by the way, guys, is about 7 feet over my head. I'm 6'4". This camera is well above me. In fact, that ought to tell you where this camera is right now, okay? So this camera is bordering on somewhere around 7 feet high. But let's make believe that this is you. Obviously not that tall. And you saw me, I think I shot that one first. You saw me spin, right? You saw me do this. I muzzled you, didn't I? But I muzzled you as responsibly as I could. Now guys, I'm going to say this boldly because frankly my crap filter has reached a point where it is so full with this hypocritical industry of the firearms training industry that I'm just going to flat out say this. I have been to date to 65 classes. Every single one of those classes had elements of handgun. I believe 32 or 35 of those were specific to handgun, but every one of them had handgun in them. And every one of them had elements of handgun that the instructor put in to figure out who was the donut in the class, and so that we could basically figure out how to teach the class and not get people shot because of that one dipwad. Sorry, but there's the reality. Which is why I appreciate people like Reed Hendricks at Valley Ridge, where you do not do squat with him unless you've had Pistolcraft 1 and Rifleman 1. You don't move forward until you've had those two, because he needs to know that you actually know what you're doing before you can move forward, so that you don't ruin the rest of the class for everybody else. So, you're going to get muzzled in a, I'm going to use a word here that gets really beat to death, in a dynamic situation where you've got multiple attackers in multiple directions. And imagine that this was a church. That's what this is. This is what I call the church drill 2.0. It's a 10-minute part-time. I'm sorry, 10 minutes. You'd get that done, wouldn't you? It's a 10-second part-time, and it's either one shot or two shots. The shots don't matter. It's about knocking the targets over, and it's usually actually 3 with that one over there. What this requires of you is motion, motion, and you're tracking. Not only are you moving, because if I remember correctly, I think I started here, and then I ended up moving here. I really don't know. Which is the beauty of this type of training, because it sucks you in, and then when you videotape everything, it allows you to track what's going on. Guys, this is not a case of, am I going to get muzzled? This is a case of how badly am I going to get muzzled? If this dude is shooting people, and that guy's shooting people, and I've got to do something about it, and there are people here, 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 and here, I'm hoping that with his first bang, everyone reflexively did this. But if you look at video of church shootings, and I've looked at several, there is always someone who's turkey necking. I want to know what that was. Seriously, it was a loud bang in a building. Your first reflexive move really ought to be that. I've actually trained myself. I was in church a while back when one of our wrought iron, I forget what the things were called, where you hang pictures and stuff. Anyways, one of them fell over on the tile floor in the Narthex. And that sucker went, kapow, and it really, really had a loud bang when it hit. And I did that with everybody else, and I stayed put for just a moment to see if there was going to be another bang. Now, of course, I tracked where that sound was coming from, but I needed to see, is there another bang coming? Because to my ears, with all honesty, from about 50 yards away, kind of down a hall where I was, that sort of sounded like a small caliber pop of a handgun. But when there was just one, and then people started laughing, I realized, okay, something fell over. Sure enough, that's what it was, one of those tripod things. Okay? But there are some people who are just so bored in their life, I guess, they feel an urge to just stick their head up. They might even do this just for fun and start videoing. Okay, so you're gonna have to contend with them. I shot at that guy, and I rotated, and I shot at this guy. I'm not gonna have the presence of mind or the time to draw my gun in and rotate before I punch it out safely. It is contact, contact, and it's move, move. And in the midst of all this, you're going to get muzzled. And I began saying this earlier when I got sidetracked. I've done a lot of training with a lot of different instructors. Military, law enforcement, civilian, active military, active law enforcement, and then former, and then civilian strictly. And I have heard it from every direction. I've heard all of the recovery positions, all of the challenge positions. I've done them all. And I have consistently heard the same sunshine about responsibility with your muzzle. Don't muzzle people, don't muzzle people. Guys, what else do you expect them to say? That's what they're gonna say, but here's the reality. I have video footage that I could show you of several instructors who teach one thing, but then in demo, when we're doing a drill that requires motion like this, or movement, they don't even follow their own rules, right? Which is why I repeatedly just whack. I'm always whacking this horse. Stop listening to the polite gunfighting rules of the NRA. Because if you've ever done Airsoft, if you've ever done Sims rounds, if you've ever played what is known as grab ass, I better clarify that one. Grab ass is a term that fighter pilots of old use. I don't even know if they still use it or not. That it was fighter pilots of old used to use when they would basically say, hey, meet me at such and such a coordinate, at such and such an altitude out in the desert, and we're gonna play grab ass. Because they weren't really supposed to be doing it. But that's how they practiced dogfighting skills. Well, that term kind of applies to simunition, airsoft, where you're basically playing grab ass with one another. You're trying to get a shot on that other guy. And sometimes it is this type of thing. I've seen it. I've seen it and it makes me laugh. Here, I'll actually show it to you.
What we're looking for is upper thoracic cavity hits, headshots, stuff like that. Yep, an arm shot, I don't necessarily want you to quit. All right, leg shot, I don't necessarily want you to quit. All right, so make sure it's a good hit. He gets 2 or 3 good solid hits on your face, your chest, and you can holler at him. All right? Excellent. All right, now look, this is totally offensive, right? So you can use the weapon man lights here. This is a fight. You know it's a fight. It's already started. So you don't have to worry about the handheld if you don't want. All right, here we go. We ready? We ready? We ready?
From ready gun?
Yeah, we'll start at ready gun, and I'll holler out when to fight. Hey! Up! Oh! Hit, Greg!
Yeah, I'm good.
Lights! Wait. Hit. Good hits. pretty good hit. Where's that? In the arm. All right, keep going. Hurry up, hurry up. Let's work. Hurry up, hurry up. That's it.
Woo! You smoked me good.
You got me pretty good too.
Oh, shit! All right, I'm good.
Okay, how about that? Did you enjoy that? Did you see any polite stances? Did you see any perfect, muscle memory, muzzle awareness? Woo! Did you see any of that? What'd you see? Two dudes playing grab ass around a vehicle. Now someone's gonna say, oh, well, that's a Canon environment. No, that's the environment of you're trying to get into your car and a dude pops up from right rear of your bumper and comes around on you, and the only thing you have time to do is slam your driver's door and start rotating around that vehicle, trying to use the vehicle as cover so that you can get a shot on him before he gets a shot on you. That's the reality of a gunfight. It's literally shove, bang, 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 and the fight's over. That's it. You may have caught one, but as long as he caught more, he's down, you're still standing, stick your finger in it and move and deal with it later. That's the reality. You're gonna get muzzled. You might muzzle yourself, you might muzzle your loved one, you might muzzle your kids, but you're gonna get muzzled. Now what's the solution? The solution isn't this. I believe it's known as register, okay? Registering your finger on the side of the slide or the frame. The solution, if you can pull it off, is that right there. And if your fingers aren't, guys, once again, I'm 6'4", this is a Glock 17, not a 19. Those of you that see this gun in my hands think you're looking at a 19, this is a 17, guys. This is a Glock 17. I'm huge. This camera's 7 feet over my head. That's why, the reason the camera is up there that far is because I want to give you guys the big picture. My height is irrelevant. But the point that I'm making is this. I have hands, I have hands that are big enough to swallow this entire Glock. So I have the ability to get my index finger high on the slide. If you can't get it here, at least get it here. And the reason for that is we don't do this, just this, when we have a bang. We actually consolidate simultaneously while contracting. Because look, where are my fingers? Aren't they touching? Here they're not touching. Here it's bang! And then it's this. So guess what? If my finger is here, and I'm not even gonna do it because I might crack one off. If I contract, my trigger finger may end up in the trigger and I may crack off a round on myself or on a loved one. But if I do this, remember the first bang was this guy right here. Once I dropped him and I sensed or heard another shot come by me, it was this to get the next shot. To acquire where the target was, I knew it was behind me, so it was low moment of inertia, rotation, punch it out, finger on trigger. This, the solution to the question, the answer to the question, the solution to the problem is if you're gonna muzzle people, muzzle them as safely as possible. Oh my goodness gracious, I just slew, I think that's the proper word, I just slew the sacred cow. Don't care. Don't care. By the way, it's Easter Sunday, 2021. We have a president in the White House who wants to destroy America and take every single thing that's in the Bill of Rights away from us. You think I'm gonna tippy-toe anymore? There are something like 9 to 10 million new gun owners in America. Wrap your head around that one. That's why it's really hard to find ammunition right now. There are 9 to 10 million new gun owners in America. And the vast majority of you know nothing about firearms. So what I'm trying to give you is little tidbits of knowledge as rapidly as I can. things that you can easily practice on your own with an empty gun, or like one of my mentors does, where he basically takes the gun and practices with the frame so that he can muzzle the students, because there's some of the examples that he has to do where he has to muzzle us. So it's this, okay, it's this. I can safely maneuver with this, and look, check it out. Wow, it's loaded, but it can't shoot. There are people who've actually jumped him because it's loaded. You pointed a loaded gun. Because, by the way, for those of you that are one of the 10 million new owners, this is the firearm. This is not. This is the firearm because it's the one that has the serial number. Okay, so this is a loaded firearm right now, isn't it? Yeah, we live in a world filled with donuts. We really, really do. So these are some of the basic things that you can do for yourself to make your training time more efficient and more effective. And guys, I know that if you have questions, well, let me rephrase that. I know you have questions, and I know that if you, let me put it this way. I know you have questions. I will do my best to answer them. In the past 28 days, I've gained over 10,000 subscribers. I think it's because a lot of you just found a channel where you realize, I'm not pushing anything. And I will close with this. We are dealing with an industry in 2021, in the midst of everything we're dealing with, where people are still playing the for this and that, and we're going to present this and blah, blah, blah. And what you guys, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, is there are still gun channels out here that are still pushing hype at you and still pushing product at you. And we are in the midst of the fight of our lives, and people are still acting like it's just like, oh, hey man, we'll get him in 2 years' time. Wow. I got to stop right there. God bless you. Get those guns out and practice. Incredible. Incredible. I'm so glad I made that shot first time.